Welcome back to Sous Vide Everything, guys. I want to thank Audible for sponsoring this video. Today I am making an incredible steak that it's not only very impressive to look at, but most important, it is absolutely delicious. Check it out. And here I have two beautiful filet mignons. This is the most tender steak there is. Nothing else comes even close. So of course I'm going to be using it to make one of the most incredible steaks I've ever made in my life. I started by seasoning them with salt, freshly ground black pepper, and garlic powder. The easiest way to season the edges is by seasoning your board and then rolling the fillets right on top. That will ensure that every edge is perfectly seasoned. The next thing to do is to bag them up and vacuum seal them. Before getting them into the water bath, we gotta prepare everything else. And this is white sea bass. We're gonna take this regular popular fish and transform them into this. It is so good that it's something you have to experience. The first thing we need to do is to cook the fish. You don't want to season them with anything because that's gonna come right after. So throw them in the bag, vacuum seal them, and get them ready for the water bath. I'm gonna be cooking them at 131 degrees Fahrenheit for 45 minutes. I got my beautiful fish cooked at 131 degrees Fahrenheit for 45 minutes. That is enough time to give a nice texture to the fish and not make it dry. If you like it even firmer, you gotta cook it for a little bit longer. But this one is my preferred doneness and it's time to take it out. Let's do it. That is a fully cooked sea bass. And just like salmon, it does produces a little bit of albumin, but that does not affect our cook for any reason. I like to pat it dry because sous vide keeps everything extremely juicy. The next thing to do is to break the fish up in small chunks. Make sure you keep it in chunks. What you don't want is to mince them fine. Moving on to the next steps, we gotta use all of these ingredients. Remember, exact amount always in the description down below for you. Into a bowl, I started by throwing in my cooked sea bass, followed by breadcrumbs, eggs, green onions, shallots, parsley, jalapeno, ginger, smoked paprika, Dijon mustard, sour cream, mayo, black pepper, and salt. Of course, we cannot forget lemon zest. And when I say lemon zest, I mean it. You want to zest an entire lemon. Cut off a quarter of that lemon and squeeze it in. To finish it off, throw in some fish sauce and mix it well. Keep in mind not to overmix and break up the fish. That is the last thing you want to do. By the time I was done, this is what it looks like. You're looking for some nice big chunks of fish. Now grab a tray and some parchment paper. And to have a nice presentation, I recommend using a hamburger mold. The important thing is to fill it up tight. You want to make sure you get all the edges. That way everything will be nice and compact together. If not, the end presentation just won't look as nice, but it's still gonna taste good. And by the time I was done, this is what it looks like. At this stage, they are extremely soft, and if you try to handle them, they're just gonna completely fall apart on you. So in order to keep its shape, I like to put them in the freezer for 30 minutes. Once the 30 minutes were up, I took them out of the freezer and now they are much firmer. The next thing I like to do is to bread them in breadcrumbs. It just gives a nice wonderful crunch that I think it's perfect. You could use egg wash if you decide to, but I just want a little bit, not too much. So just grab them and smash them into the breadcrumbs. As you can see, I just like to do the top and the bottom. There's no need to do the edges. Now the only thing left to do is to fry them at 350 degrees Fahrenheit until they are golden brown. That usually takes anywhere between 1 to 2 minutes per side. And as you fry them, the center will automatically heat up, giving you the perfect doneness for these fish cakes. And once I was done, this is what they look like. I'll tell you one thing, they don't only look good, they taste good. The next thing to do is to cook up some beautiful shrimp. And these will give the filet mignon a run for its money. I started off with large shrimp. Get the biggest one you can find in your supermarket. The bigger, the better. These are what they called 8 to 12 per pound. They are huge. They come completely clean and also deveined, which makes my job a lot easier. The first thing we gotta do is to season them, and for that I used Guga's Rub. As you already know, Guga's Rub, you cannot buy it. If you have not seen it yet, I'll put a link on the description down below for you. By the time I was done, you can see every single shrimp was covered with Guga's Rub. And that is exactly what you're looking for. I throw them into my smoker at 350 degrees Fahrenheit. You want to smoke them for 15 minutes. As they're all smoking, I made a garlic butter. And that's pretty straightforward. It's just a little bit of melted butter and garlic paste. Mix it well and you have garlic butter. Now it's time to baste those shrimp. And make sure you're not shy. This will give the shrimps a wonderful flavor, because we all know that butter and seafood is a perfect marriage. As you can see, by the time I was done, they were heavily coated with that garlic butter. The next thing to do is to wrap them up in bacon, and I used one full strip for each individual shrimp. You already know where I'm going with this. Like everyone says, butter makes everything better, bacon makes everything even better. Now you want to throw them back into the smoker and smoke it for an additional 15 minutes. Basically until your bacon is fully cooked. I also made a very simple glaze with honey and my favorite hot sauce. And after about 10 minutes, my shrimps were ready. Now all there's left to do is to glaze them. And by the time I was done, this is what they look like. That, my friends, is absolutely delicious. But now going back to our filet mignon, I'm cooking both of them in the same container at 131 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 hours. That will give me a perfect medium rare. I want to thank Audible for sponsoring this video. If you didn't already know, Audible is an amazing platform that offers the largest selection of audiobooks in the planet. They have thousands of audiobooks, podcasts, comedies, and even theatrical performances. Every month, members get 1 credit to pick any title they want from the whole Audible library, regardless of pricing. Any unused credits automatically roll over to the next month. And the best of all, if you don't like a book, you can return it. But if you do like it, you get to keep it forever. Plus, you also get to pick 2 Audible Originals exclusive titles. This month, I'm listening to the Da Vinci Code by Dan Brown. That is an amazing, awesome audiobook, and I definitely recommend it. If you've never tried Audible, you can try it for 30 days by visiting audible.com/SVE or just text SVE to 500-500. Once again, that's audible.com/SVE. But now let's get right back to the video. As you saw it there, I have my fish cake ready. I have my shrimp ready. I will have to confess, with the shrimp, I was not able to hold back. I had to take a bite of one of them. With all that being said, my steaks were cooked at 131 degrees Fahrenheit for 2 hours, and it's time to take it out. Let's do it. Oh man, if you could just smell it, how wonderful it smells, everybody. As soon as you take it out of the bag, it hits you with that wonderful aroma of a steak that you already know it's gonna be amazing. It is extremely tender, so please, whenever you're making your filet mignon, handle with care, everybody. If not, it's just gonna fall apart on you. Another thing is that your vacuum sealing. Whenever you vacuum seal beef tenderloin or filet mignons just like this, you cannot put the setting on that vacuum seal too strong. If you do, instead of having a round shape like this, see how mine is nice and round? Yours is gonna be kind of square because it's gonna compress the thing too much, just like hamburgers. Hamburgers, whenever you're making the patty, you don't wanna put it too hard because then it becomes like a squared hamburger or a weird shape. Nevertheless, I think you guys got the point, all right? For the searing, of course, I am gonna be using the Champion so that I can go hot and fast and quick on these beautiful steaks. When I say Champion, I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about, right, everybody? I'm talking about my flamethrower, everybody, because it's nice and quick and fast and... This thing is so much fun. I know, they don't look that good right now, but watch this. All right, everybody, here I have my beautiful steak Oscar. I'll tell you one thing, it is a beautiful presentation. You got to put a little bit of effort into it, but at the same time, come on, you present this to your loved one, how are they not going to enjoy it, right? Now, you see this shrimp standing up here, everybody? No, it's not going to stand up by itself, you know? The trick is you got to put a little, look, you know, I kind of cheated a little bit, you see? There's a little toothpick. Cheers, everybody. This is a meal by itself right here. I have to restrain myself because I'm gonna share this with my lovely wife. I might just eat the whole thing. Now this one right here, I'll tell you, the smell when you're making it, it is incredible. All the spices combined together. Ooh, so tender, so soft. And also kind of crunchy on the top because of the breadcrumbs. Enough talking. Cheers, everybody. All the herbs, lemony. The fish is extremely soft and tender. juicy. Oh my Lord, that is phenomenal. If you don't have fish available, white fish, like I used white bass, right? You can use anything else, even snapper or even crabs. Put the crab in there. It doesn't matter. Anything will be good because all those herbs and all those spices combined together makes a wonderful, wonderful. So good. You already know the tenderloin is going to be absolutely perfection. Check it out. Medium rare, exactly the way I like it. Nothing, and I repeat, nothing will ever beat the consistency of sous vide. Cheers. Make this, everybody. Oh, it's too good. Anyway, guys, these are the results for my steak Oscar. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you do enjoy, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're not a subscriber, be sure to subscribe for future videos. Remember, if you are interested in any of the equipment I use, everything is always in the description down below for you. Thank you so much for watching. Please stay safe out there, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.